We're now on Trello's homepage, and from here, we're going to click boards just like this. Now, it's going to give us the option to select different templates, or you can click the templates button like this. In this case, I'm just going to click on boards like this, and I'm going to use the Kanban template here. And if you're having any trouble at all with finding that specific template that I showed you, you can always just come over here to boards just like this, and you can select really any sort of template, and you can start working from there. So for example, if you cannot find this specific Kanban template, you can use any template. I can browse out to the full template gallery. I can use any of these templates. Let's just say that I had a hard time finding the Kanban template. I could just come here to templates like this, and I could go ahead and use really any sort of Trello board or Trello template in order to get started. So in this case, I could go ahead and just click create like this, and I can create a board from scratch if I don't already have a template that I want to use. So I'll go ahead and click create board like this. I'll go ahead and use a simple name like Trello board test number 2, and I could go ahead and create it like that. And you can see here right off the bat, we can very simply do the same thing that we've done before, and we can add a to do or a backlog list or column. We could add a in progress list or column. And finally, we can add a done list or column just like that. So that's another option. I know Trello's interface can be kind of hit or miss. So finding the exact template that we just showed might be a little bit hard to do, but you can always just come over like I just showed, and you could create your template from scratch or create your board from scratch by clicking create board just like that, or by going within Trello's templates and using any of the templates that Trello offers. So really there's two other ways that you can do it. Just feel free to use whatever way that gets you into your own board as soon as possible. That way you can start using your board and start working immediately. As you become more advanced and you use Trello more often, you can use many, many different templates. It's actually really, really amazing the different types of templates that Trello offers, because each of these different types of templates are customized or customizable to different things. We'll be going over templates a little bit later in this course, but for now, let's just use this Kanban template here. So I went ahead and I clicked on the template, and I'll go ahead and click use template, and I'm going to title this our first Trello board. I'm going to go ahead and put it in Trello's default workspace, and I'll go ahead and keep the cards and the template cards just so you can see exactly how it looks like if you keep these default settings when you're using this template. From here, you can see we have these different columns, and we have a bunch of different tasks in here. For right now, the only thing I want you to worry about is this up here, which is our board name. These different columns, which the backlog, the design, the to-do, the doing, the code review, the testing, and the done are all columns, and the tasks or the cards, which are these different movable tasks or cards here. In our case, I'm going to keep things simple, and I'm going to archive a few different things. So let's go ahead and archive some of these different columns just to make things simple. So let's go ahead and archive the doing, we'll archive the design, and we'll archive the testing. All I'm doing is clicking the three little dots here, the actions, and then clicking archive this list just like that. Now we have our backlog, our to-do, and our done columns just like this, and we can start customizing our board further. From here, I'm going to go ahead and remove these different types of cards here and mark them done, and I'm going to move them to the done there. And let's just go ahead and archive everything just to clear everything out here. And now I've archived everything within this board besides these three columns. To keep things simple, we're going to build everything out here from scratch. So at this point, your board should look something like this. We should have a backlog column like this. We're going to call this backlog or to do. We should have an in progress column like this. We can go ahead and change the name of this middle column if yours doesn't look like that. And we should have a done column. As we start creating tasks and work, our work is going to flow from the backlog or the to do to the in progress, all the way to the very end to the done column here. So essentially that's what our columns are. They're for storing our work and sort of for labeling our work as it flows through the progression from the very beginning, when things are just fresh new tasks that aren't even being worked on at all, or the backlog or to do, as they become in progress or as someone starts working on them, all the way to the done when they're actually finally completed by someone within our team or by ourselves. One more thing that I wanted to mention for this video is within Trello, Trello refers to these different columns as lists. So when you're using Trello, you can call these lists. When you're working within any sort of Kanban board, which is the boards within Trello, these are a Kanban board style of working, we call them columns. So in this course, I'm going to be referring to these different lists here as columns. You could call them columns, you can call them lists. It really doesn't matter what you call them. Again, same thing with cards and tasks. When you use them and when you work with a team, you should either call them cards or tasks. And with columns or lists, you should either just refer to them as columns or lists. It can get really, really confusing, and I do my best in this course to use both terms, both columns and lists, as well as for cards and tasks. I kind of use them interchangeably. That way you can adopt whatever terminology that you want. That way, when you're working with your own team, you could either say card or task, and you could say either column or list. But just keep in mind when you're clicking a button like add another list, or when you're doing archive this list or any sort of work with lists, it's just these columns. I just call them columns. You could call them lists. Trello calls them lists. Really depends on what you're looking to use terminology wise, but just keep that in mind. For example, if we wanted to add another column, we would just click add another list, just like this right here. In this case, I went ahead and I archived that list. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about exactly how you can create cards, how you can assign owners or members to cards, how you can create card labels, descriptions, assign due dates as well as start dates, and share your entire board with other people.